Alright, I'm doing this shit quick because it's late and I want to go to bed. But I did talk about doing this. I don't want to have camera. I don't feel like putting a shirt on. It's fucking hot up here. So we're going to do this quick. Here are my credentials. If you've never seen a video of mine before in your life, check it out. I feel like my stats are pretty good. I'm not the best player of all time, but I'm pretty fucking good. I'm in the second to last league. The games are getting harder. You kids are getting better, but I still fucking prevail. All right, so I do pretty all right for myself. But those are my credentials. Now, let's do ourselves a tier list of the perks. You can't choose which ones you get in order, though it doesn't really fucking matter. But, you know, this is just my opinion. Maybe things should be buffed. Maybe things should be nerfed. Let's talk about it, huh? So I have the perks open here so we can really read it all the way through. Know exactly what's happening, and then we can rate accordingly. So, first one, Aerodynamic. There's also observations on the wiki. I don't know if these things have been fixed yet. I'm sure there's a patch coming soon because I feel like it's been a while. But if there is one and things change, well, we'll fucking make a new one, huh? But Aerodynamic. 25% increase on perfect landed elbows, while there is no increase of damage on the near miss elbows. Aerodynamic is a kind of dog shit. I'll stay open to like the worst of the worst, but it's one of those perks that you see and you're like, oh, great. Shmeh. Let's keep it going. We'll go in order from here so it's the easiest. Ballistic. To perform this additional move, you don't need to press the attack button twice. It increases the damage of this move by 60%. Ballistic is very fucking good. Might even be S tier. Again, we'll keep the bottom ones open for now and we will discuss as we go. But if you get Ballistic first, you know, you're probably going to be really valuing that drop kick a lot more, and it opens you up to wall splats, and anything that opens you up to a wall splat is going to be pretty fucking good, and we'll get more into that. Here, we'll get a little into that. Boom. I'll explain that once we get to it. Oh, look, we got to it. Bombastic. There is a damage increase in the first and last hit of the combo. The entire combo has increase of 37%. So, I mean, 37%, it's not that much, right? Wrong, fucko. Bombastic is insane because it allows you to wall splat people, the same as Ballistic, but much easier. You know, like if you're just squaring up with somebody and they make a mistake and you hit them with the 1, 2, 3, that third one's going to send them fucking flying. And, you know, it makes it a little harder, I guess, to get a confirm elbow drop. If you knock them on the ground and then you jump and you do the elbow drop and that's confirmed. It's a little harder to pull off because you got to do like a sprint jump and you got to time it real good. But what this opens, like if you have this, you probably just want to play super aggressively against people. You want to be all up in their business early because you just have such a big advantage with Bombastic. If you fight in close quarters and it's over. You get to open up any combo you want after you fucking splat them. It's great. All right. Speaking of great, Brain Buster. I'm going to brain bust this bad boy into the bottom of the fucking pile. It stinks. Because, all right, it sounds like a lot. And, I mean, you know, basic vicious attacks. You don't really use those often, huh? I mean, typically, at least personally, I like to walk around with something like a Javelin Tackle or a Diamond Crusher, Giant Swing on some circles, some final situations, and I'm not thinking about the fucking basic one. I mean, if you want to have something like Omega Punch and like or Omega Uppercut and Atomic Punch or Sumo Slap because you're boring and you fucking like OP shit, we'll get to that later. You know, if you want to have both of those, then Brainbuster's fine. I just would rather have many other things like Meditate. Meditate, I would say the more I've played, I used to think Meditate was like the best perk in the game, and it's still very good. It's a little worse because of, I guess, how the meta seems to be shifting. I mean, I don't know if there's an MMR system in this game, but my games have been getting fucking hard. Like, I'm playing against people who know what's up, and people who know what's up know that, you know, don't let people meditate. Now, if there's a situation you're in like a top 3 and 2 people have meditate and 1 person doesn't, then that person is just completely shit fuck out of luck because, you know, they're going to be forced to engage while the other two people are like, it's fine, because you have to pick one of them, you know? So then the other person's has a huge advantage. That being said, Meditator is still S tier. Meditate is annoying and very good. So, yeah, I just think Bombastic overall, like, when I see I have Bombastic, I'm like, oh, baby, oh, baby. It just opens you up. If you're a little pussy-ass bitch, then it goes like this. But if you're not, then Bombastic is in the lead. What do we got next? Nimble. Dodging cost less stam. Without the perk, you can dodge 6 times. With the perk, you can dodge 12 times. Boom. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's not, like, the best one in the game, but there's a lot of situations where dodging is very nice, and it costing less stam is pretty good. Again, credentials. I've played this game too much. I feel like my opinion is pretty good on the matter. I think that stam is kind of a big deal sometimes. You got to really pay attention to it. That's why these stam perks are all not bad, because you don't want to drink stam pots. They fucking suck. They give you 10 stam, and that's it. But, you know, you need stam to do shit. So it's really nice when your moves don't cost as much. Rabbit Foot. Long jump costs 40% less. So this one, you can do it 5 times, and with the perk, you can long jump 7 times. I don't think you need to do that many times, you know? Long jumping is nice in, like, the mid-game and even the early game. If this is, like, the first perk I get, I go, okay. Because you want to get around the map. You want to loot. You want to find protein pods. You want to find better moves. You want to find people to fight. It's fine, but it's situational. Because if it's like the last 5 people and I get a brand new perk and I'm like, oh, I can long jump 2 more times. Wow. Wowee. That's so cool. No, it's not. Moving on. Runner. Dashing costs less. This one is not bad. Without the perk, you can run for 11 seconds. With the perk, you can run for almost 19. Again, it's the same thing as Rabbit Foot. A little better because you're definitely dashing way more than you're long jumping. So I think maybe gatekeeping C, maybe the bottom of B. We'll see how this continues. Sadistic is very good. Every individual hit of damage you deal will cause you to heal for 2% of your max HP. This is great. When you have things like Omega with the spin, or Sumo Slap is another one that comes to mind immediately. And you can Sumo Slap people into Sumo Slap, and that's, I don't know, like 16 fucking hits or something crazy, or 14. It's a lot. You bow. And you're healing for all of them. Very good. You still need to fight to do it. So it's probably a little worse than Meditate, but for aggressive boys, is better. Like, I'm always excited to see Sadistic. It's very good. Meditate's just, like, super annoyingly good. So I kind of want to put Meditate in front of it. It's really a toss-up. I mean, my play style, I think I prefer seeing Sadistic. Temper. Temper is really nice. 20% more damage after taking damage, and it lasts 10 seconds. So, there is a tell. You know, if you see someone with all the steam shooting out of their ears, then it's ears, right? Yeah. Well, if you get hit and you really wanted to go hide somewhere to eat a chicken, well, you're probably not gonna be hiding because you're going, you know, you're fucking blowing the steam out. So people will find you, but people will also be a little more intimidated by you. You're doing 20% more damage. I think Temper is quite good. It's probably even A tier-ish. You know, you still have to take damage for it to go off. And, you know, I've never taken damage in my entire life while playing this game. So I don't like it personally, but I'm speaking more for... I'm kidding. It's good. It's quite good. It's probably going to be the top of B. Because we have to make more room for A tier ones like the Burn. The Burn is really nice. You know, mid... If you get it... no matter what part of the game you get it, the Burn's pretty good. Because you are going around... fighting people, skirmishes like mid and early and mid game. And you don't want to be eating all your chickens for that. So, you know, while you're finding your protein pods, they're also healing you. And then you get closer to the late game and, you know, you see pods all over the fucking place. And once you have 10 and your build is done, or 8 if you're playing duo, once it's done and you can start using them as healing, like exclusively, you can start chugging the stam ones. Like the stam pots are great for something like that. It's almost a nice thing. It's a buff to the burn that stam pods are so shit because they're all over the place. Even late game, you will see them. You might have to like dive out of like one of the final circles to go find one, but they're always around because people don't pick them up. So the burn at any point in the game is quite good. I feel like it's A tier. Satisfaction is also quite good, but let's get into here. I'm going out of order here, but we're almost done. Weapon Master. Throwing objects are not affected by this perk. That immediately, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but weapon attacks deal 30% more damage. Now, here's the thing about weapons, all right? Most of the time, you're not using the like a normal attack with them. I mean, if you have a metal bat and you just catch someone, you can whack the shit out of them with Weapon Master. But, you know, typically late game stuff, you are going to take wood and you're going to spam the unblockable with it because it's broken right now. It's so fucking strong doing that. Hitting people with the chairs, you know, it's fine too, but you're probably doing the unblockable move or the vicious move, excuse me. It's the same shit. It's unblockable. And that breaks the weapon. You're not worried about damage more. You're worried about controlling like your opponent. It's kind of a CC move, using like the wood to Y them. And then, you know, or I said Y them because I use an Xbox controller, but you know, to vicious them. And that scores you a stun, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's still pretty good though. I think it's like B tier. I'm not mad when I see Weapon Master. I'm not like overjoyed, but it's fine. Maybe it's like the best C tier one, maybe the lowest B tier. That seems fair. Next up we have Wind Fist, which is get up, back fist, clears more space and does more damage. This one is probably a little bit better in duos, you know, when there's a lot more going on. Typically, you don't really want to do Wind Fist or do your get up, like attack, the back fist, unless you know it's guaranteed. Either someone lands on top of you while you're blinking, you know, they try to do an elbow drop to like finish their combo and they mistime it, then bang, you go whack them. But typically, you really don't want to do your get up attack because once you block, or like once someone blocks you while you're doing it, you're just open for a whole new combo again. It's a big pitfall that I see a lot of new players do. They just spam get up back fist. They're like, yeah, off me, but you could just block it and then you're fucked. That being said, it's still fine if you time it right. Just be cautious with it. You don't really want to do that move often. I think it's like top of C. Then we have, woo! Did I somehow skip Satisfaction? I didn't mean to do that. Satisfaction. What made me stop talking about that? I don't know. I'm riffing. I haven't done a single cut. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Look at my sponsor for the week. All right. So, Satisfaction is quite good. Let's read through it. It is healing regen of 40 health per second for 15 seconds. And it's faster stam regen. Woo-wee. I'm not going to do the math because I'm fucking lazy, but it's enough health that it's quite good. I still think the burn is better because you can kind of do this on the go. Satisfaction demands that you get the last hit. It's still very good, but I'd still rather have all this shit. All right, last but not least is, woo! Basic attack and charge basic attack. Build more superstar. Not bad at all. Building more superstar is nice, especially in duo where you want to be popping it more to, like, you know, get in there and fight. It's not bad at all. This is something that I feel like I've honestly slept on a bit. I haven't thought about it as much, but it's pretty nice. And then in solos, I really try to not use my superstar, but being able to build it later, yeah, with basic attacks, and it's pretty good. I still don't think it's great, but I do think I'd probably be about right there excited to see it. That, my friends, is all of the perks in the game thus far. If you liked my explanations of them, give a brother a subscription. I stream Rumbleverse very often. I'm actually taking a break for like the next day probably, but I mean I've been no-lifing the shit out of this game, and people have been like, make a tier list if you think you're so good. They didn't say that. They were like, hey, you should make a tier list. That makes sense. And you know what? They were right. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful pizza day. Bye.